Cricket from Antigua now on BBC One, with today's play, Jonathan Agnew.
After the disappointment of a rain-affected draw in Barbados, the England team have moved to dry land for the final test in this cable and wireless series. The island of Antigua is called dry land by the locals because of the lack of rivers and streams. But what it's famous for are its beaches, of which there are 365, one for each day of the year, and for its sailing. It stages the largest regatta in the Caribbean. In 1994, the good ship Lara dominated the week of the Test match when he broke Gary Sober's 36-year-old record for the highest number of runs scored in a Test innings. His 375 was a joy to watch and really put the then young Trinidadian into the pantheon of greats. The series was lost to England by the time they'd reached Antigua in 1994. This time, though, Atherton and his men had the chance to finish the series 2-2.
We find ourselves 2-1 down, which is disappointing, considering I think we've had 3 chances of winning Test matches here out of 4 games. But we must ensure that we do our best to win this match and level the series off.
Hello and welcome to Antigua for highlights of the 6th and final Test match in this series between England and West Indies, and it really is make or break for England. If they win the match, they can finish level, so there's everything to play for over the next 5 days. And the ground here has undergone a real transformation. There are 3 brand new stands. This is the new Richie Richardson stand behind me, which was opened only yesterday. It's a completely new playing surface, and all of this at what is without doubt the liveliest cricket venue in the world. More of that later, I'm sure, but first stop this morning is the relayed pitch and Michael Holding.
Thanks, Jonathan. Once again, we have got a brand new pitch here for a Test match. This one in Antigua, at the Antigua Recreation Ground. We are not too sure how it's going to play, but one would suspect that it should play reasonably well. In the past, the batsmen have had a field day and they have tried to do something about that. But I just suspect that this still is going to be very, very good for batting. If you look at the surface, it's very, very smooth. The grass that was left on the pitch was rolled in, and that grass is almost totally dread. It's straw-coloured, it's in the surface, not much help for the fast bowlers off the seam. I would suspect too that it is pretty dry, so later on in this Test match, the spinners might be brought into their own, but for the time being, it should still be pretty good for batting.
Thank you, Michael. Well, the toss was won again by Brian Lara, who decided to put England into bat. And here are the teams. England unchanged from the 11 that drew in Barbados. They resisted the temptation to play Croft, the off-spinner. 3 changes in the West Indies lineup. Wicketkeeper Junior Murray and fast bowler Franklin Rose replacing Williams and Bishop, and Ramnarine comes in for McLean. Will this be Ambrose's and Walsh's last test against England, I wonder? Well, play got underway 15 minutes late, and this is the first ball of the match. Courtney Walsh is bowling to Mike Atherton.
Good morning, England captain.
Both Michael Atherton and Brian Lara said they thought that this pitch was a bit damp. Well, there is the evidence.
4 balls later, we got the first sign of trouble from this new pitch.
It's flown at Atherton. Pretty well played in the end. Atherton hasn't enjoyed it.
You can actually see a piece of the pitch going pretty low towards Mike Atherton. Obviously the ball hitting him very, very hard, but again you can see that this pitch just playing a little bit awkwardly. There goes the piece. The ball hit him on his glove while the piece of the pitch hit him on his boot.
The rain returned and the players were off for an hour as the ground staff took an age to get the covers off. We can now return to the action in the second over. Ambrose is bowling to Stewart with a no ball on the board.
Oh my goodness. That's flown at Stewart and smashed into his hand. 4 runs will be the signal, but Stewart having desperate problems with that delivery. And looks like we've got another totally unsatisfactory test pitch here.
Well, it's the same problem again, Bob. Trying to relay a pitch a few months before you're actually playing a serious match on it. That is a good length delivery. And it just took off. Luckily for Alex Stewart, when it hit him on his glove, it did not go to any of the fielders. But I still think that these pitches are being played on much too quickly after being totally relayed. 4 feet of this pitch again was taken out. Similar in Jamaica. I don't think you can really expect to play test matches on a pitch that has been relayed as deep as these two have been. Less quickly.
Michael Atherton facing Courtney Walsh, still on 0. Not any longer. Roland Holder doing the fielding.
And well played again. Just swaying out of the line of the ball on this occasion, Michael Atherton. Bit of sideways movement for Courtney Walsh as well, pitching and seaming away from the right-hander. What this pitch needs is some good bright sunlight and quite a bit of breeze as well. I think the surface just needs a bit of drying out.
No third man, Ramnarayan in pursuit. Lovely looking outfield here. Quite slow after that heavy shower of rain. 4 from that over, England 9 without loss. A lot of changes to this Antigua recreation ground. Even the cheaper seats, the bleachers have been renovated. Just concrete and wooden benches over there, but a much better viewing area than it used to be. New stand next to the Viv Richards Players Pavilion. Franklin Rose at point. There's only Franklin Rose at point and Courtney Walsh down at long leg who aren't in catching positions. Everybody else is waiting for the misplaced stroke defensively. Slips, a gully, silly point, short leg and a short extra cover. Stewart looking to be positive.
Well, this is pretty much the way that Alex Stewart plays. And especially on a pitch like this, you have got to be positive. There's no point just hanging around because you at any time can get a delivery that you just cannot play. Always looking to play shots, Alex Stewart. Pretty good average that in this series so far. Yet to get to 3 figures, but quite consistent.
Stewart be happy with that average of just around 45. Move several inches off the seam, and after every ball the batsman has to go down and repair the surface.
Of course, it's the bowler who gets the ball to move off the seam, but that one carrying through quite nicely to Junior Murray. Obviously, the bowler has no control over the carry. He has the control over the direction that the ball moves. It's good bowling by Courtney Walsh. One away and then the next in. And a good carry. I get the impression, Bob, that if this pitch dries out, we just might get back to the usual ARG pitch. Good for batting.
Edged. Murray was on his way down the leg side, and Walsh can't believe it. He hasn't had any luck in this series with the ball. All the drop chances seem to have been off Courtney Walsh, and that's not a great start for Junior Murray.
Definitely not. A regulation catch, this one, and it goes between the first slip and the wicketkeeper. I would have to say that was Junior Murray's catch. The ball would not have carried on the full to Brian Lara. It passed pretty close to Junior Murray.
Well, the ball, according to Junior Murray, was going to seam down the leg side. You could see his movement down there, edged. It was definitely the keeper's catch. It would have been a miraculous catch for first slip to dive forward and take that, but you see Murray's weight is on his left foot. He was on his way down the leg side, and look at Walsh's frustration. A let off for Atherton. Through the slips again. This time Ambrose suffers.
Well, Brian Lara did all the right things. Of course, he was the one spinning the coin, didn't have to call, but he won the toss and asked England to bat. And 2 chances now have gone a begging. Shivnarayan Chandrapal, the man on this occasion, moving to his left.
I think we've missed most of that weather. Walsh is running into the breeze, so we should have missed that dark stuff behind him. Going back to the West Indies team, Michael, they've got a break after this Test and one-day series against England. It seems to be sort of brown paper and sticking plaster selection for this series, just to get through and try and hold on and beat England. But surely not all these players will go to South Africa, will they?
I think that is the problem that most people are seeing with this series so far. It certainly has been a matter of putting a few plasters on a few sores, and that is not quite what I expected to be happening on this tour. I thought perhaps this tour would have been used to build towards the future, putting a few youngsters on this tour, giving them a chance and seeing if they were good enough, and perhaps taking them to South Africa if they were. It's pretty difficult to see all these senior guys, a couple that have been brought back, senior as well, going to South Africa and no youngsters.
In a strange sort of way, I think Atherton and Stewart are enjoying themselves out there. It's a real test of their technique. Extra bounce that time from Walsh.
But again, although there is bounce, there is no great pace. The ball dying on the way to Junior Murray, just taking it by his bootlaces. But it's a real challenge out there. I think both Atherton and Stewart will be quite pleased with their performance if they do manage to survive and give England a good start.
England haven't used anything like as many players as the West Indies during the series. Chris Silverwood and Ashley Cowan have had no opportunity. They'll be returning home not having played any tests. It's well taken by Murray. Really leapt and seamed down the leg side.
I'm not too sure that did not take a bit of the bat there on the way through. Looked very close. I think definitely a bit of an inside edge. So technically a chance, but I don't think too many people would really blame Junior Murray for that one.
Very well played again by Michael Atherton. These two may not be scoring any runs, but they're doing a famous job for England at present.
Yes, it's important that they do survive these torrid periods. But they have got to try and survive, because I'm sure this pitch will even out a bit later on. Should be pretty good for batting, or at least that's what most people will be hoping. This is something that we missed out on in Barbados, Bob. We didn't see any pools in Barbados. It's back here at the ARG.
Can only be from the UK.
At least they're both the same colour.
Runs this time for Atherton. We'd gone for a spell of 17 balls before that 2 to Atherton.
Oh, more problems for Stewart.
This is a tough nugget. Alex Stewart right in line again, the ball bouncing above the pad and smashing into his arm.
You think that when you have your arm guard on with your left hand, your front hand off, you'd have no problems, but that one, it is backhand, the right. Apart from the 3 senior men of Ambrose, Walsh and Bishop, I would expect that Nixon McLean would definitely go to South Africa as well. Franklin Rose and perhaps Mervyn Dillon. But I think they certainly have to take a spinner. Ramna Ryan, I think, would be the man to go as a spinner. So 6 fast bowlers and the spinner Ramna Ryan. That's 7. Might have to take a pretty big squad, Bob.
How far in advance of the tour will the selectors pick that side, do you suppose?
I don't suppose they'll pick that team until perhaps just about August, September, near to the end of the English season, so just to make sure that all the fellas that are playing in England are fit and well. I would think on a tour of South Africa, the West Indies will be thinking to take perhaps 16 players, 7 bowlers, 7 batsmen and 2 wicket keepers, I would think.
Oh. Well, that is very painful. Stewart's in trouble here. Ball leaping from a pretty good length, nipping back into Stewart.
Look at this delivery. How do you play these? Wow.
Yes, in fact, Stewart was looking to get his weight onto his front foot when that ball leapt up at him.
Atherton just doing a bit of gardening there again to try and smoothen out that last spot. But this certainly is a bit awkward for batting. It's still there, Alec. Yes, still there. Just hurting a bit.
You can see the reaction of Michael Atherton at the other end. So tough on England, trying to force their way back into this series. Denied that opportunity on the last day in Barbados. If England play the better cricket, they could get back and draw it 2 matches each, but looks like a bit of a lottery on this track. Won't reach the fence. 3 to Atherton. So that means Alex Stewart will be back on strike to the second ball of Walsh's 6th over.
Of course, with the rain about, it's easier fielding than batting. The fast bowlers come out. Every time there's a break, the batsmen have to refocus. But unfortunately, no wickets. Not totally the fault of the bowlers, of course. They did what they had to do. Were badly let down by the slip cordon. This is what happened earlier on. Courtney Walsh bowling to Atherton. I think that's a new highway that they have opened up here at the ARG. Then that was Stewart off Ambrose. And then again, short of Ambrose.
Well played. Beautifully played through mid-on. Another long chase for Franklin Rose. The ball pulling up on this lush outfield. Well, England will be pleased with their work. Very difficult first session for them, interrupted by rain. Only 11 overs bowled before lunch. England reaching 25 for no wicket. Michael Atherton, the captain, on 13. ALEC Stewart on 10. England going to lunch on the first day, having been put in by Brian Lara, have reached 25 for no wicket, and just the 2 bowlers used by Brian Lara, the old faithfuls Walsh and Ambrose, yet to take a wicket.
That was the situation at lunch, but afterwards we had a very heavy shower and play was delayed. Undeterred, the England fans enjoyed themselves, but the players weren't in the mood for partying. The covers eventually came off after a protracted mopping up process, and some water had leaked onto the square. Enough sand to form Antigua's 366th beach was thrown down, and finally at 4:45 the players came out for the 12th over of the day, bowled by Ambrose to Atherton.
Oh, that's a beauty. You can't play those. Atherton could bat against Ambrose for 10 years, and he wouldn't lay a bat on that sort of leg cutter.
Pursed lips and an exhalation of breath is the reaction from Michael Atherton. He's missed that by 6 inches to a foot. Ambrose is running in quite beautifully. He knows that he's got to pitch the ball reasonably far up on this pitch. He's running in a very relaxed manner, not steaming in, not charging in.
Roar of approval as Atherton's glove and bat hand learns him a single.
There'll be 1 or 2 anxious glances up at the sky.
It's gone up in the air. It's going to fall safely between Lara and Ambrose.
Well, you've got to say he's lucky to get away with that. It's not the best advised of strokes. Top edge, which is really probably the back of the bat, and it's just looped over Junior Murray and down to fine leg. I think it's very difficult for batsmen when they're batting on a pitch like this. Anything short, and that was short from Walsh, they may have made their minds up to have a go at. It's the fuller length delivery that's the real problem.
It's that man Ambrose again. Van Rijn takes the catch in the gully, and once again Curtly Ambrose picks up the wicket of Michael Atherton, and England 1 down for 27.
Well, I said it was the fuller length delivery that was the problem, causing the problem. Atherton feeling for that, looking to get forward but not over it. Snapped up by Van Rijn, and he's gone for 15, the England captain. England are 27 for 1.
England deciding not to send in the night watchman yet. Mark Butcher taking his normal place in the batting order at number 3. He joins his Surrey colleague ALEC Stewart and replaces the England captain Michael Atherton,
who has fallen to Curtly Ambrose yet again. Good sharp catch from Van Rijn at gully. Very much appreciated by Curtly Ambrose. Good length delivery. Atherton feeling for it outside off stump.
Dismissal of Atherton, Curtly Ambrose's 333rd Test wicket. There we are, 333. The average is fantastic. Mark Butcher concerned about the viewing area behind Ambrose, because the tall paceman's now going to come round the wicket. This has been a regular feature of Ambrose's bowling against the left-handed players. Gone for it, and Lara's got it. That's a poor shot from Butcher, sitting in the dressing room all day. And Ambrose is in amongst England again.
Well, it really was a poor shot from Mark Butcher. First ball round the wicket from Ambrose. It's, I suppose you could say he was being aggressive. Foolhardy more likely. Lara juggles it, takes the catch. And Ambrose has got 2 wickets in 3 balls. Butcher's gone for 0, 27 for 2.
Now we do see the night watchman. Dean Headley strides out to join ALEC Stewart. A terrible shot from Mark Butcher, but not easily taken by Lara.
Little juggle, which will have made Curtly Ambrose heart leap to his mouth. I think Butcher may have been put in at number 3, made to come in his usual spot, because he had the technique to bat on this sort of pitch. Well, that certainly wasn't what was required by England's number 3. A loose stroke, and the West Indies are rampant. Dean Headley's got a task on his hands here, coming in as night watchman to partner ALEC Stewart.
They've been dancing all day, but not quite like that. Bowing to the Messiah. Stewart's gone for it. He's hit it in front of square. Outfield rather sluggish after all the rain we've had today.
Not sure this is the best possible approach from Corny Walsh. Problems for the batsman of the ball from the ball that's pitched up.
Scott through.
Well, you'd thought Chanderpaul would have learnt his lesson. He's dropped Stewart twice now at his left hand. He's wide. You can see the gap between second and third slip. It's a wide gap. He's gone full length to his left.
Quality of the light is a lot poorer. Headley's coming back. Holder's the fielder. 2 more valuable runs for England.
No further runs were added, so there's the England card. Awkward batting conditions, but I don't think either Atherton or Butcher will think much of their shots. Stewart batted bravely after that nasty blow. 2 wickets in 4 balls for Curtly Ambrose, who's now taken 144 wickets against England. Walsh could easily have had 2 as well. So an excellent toss for Brian Lara to win after the groundsman decided to water the pitch last night. That gamble backfired after all the rain we had here this morning. But England can still be confident despite all that time lost. There should still be a result in this match. That's all from us for this evening. From rather a damp Caribbean, good night.
a buzz